Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. This article comes to you guys from Light Reading. I'll leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out, right? So, the big question now, how important are these deals really to T-Mobile, right? That was the question, and now we have an answer, right? They're willing to scrap their entire DEI policies to get those two deals across the finish line, meaning US Cellular and Metronet. Now, which out of the two deals, right, which is the most important? I think it's Metronet. Metronet is the most important for T-Mobile because it's a new business venture they're getting into and they need scale, right? T-Mobile has spectrum today. They have scale on fiber today. On wireless. They have scale. They have a scaled network. Could it be bigger? Of course, but they have a scaled network today that has close to 130 million customers sitting on it. So they're at scale, right? Now, US Cellular, of course, would provide critically needed coverage across Oklahoma and parts of California, parts of Oregon. Those 2,100 site builds that T-Mobile will convert that's going to be critically, right, new coverage for T-Mobile and its customers. So that's not disputing that's not important, but the Metronet is more important because T-Mobile needs scale, right? They need scale on fiber. Until they can get to the scale of Verizon and AT&T, the investor community is going to look at it as a negative, which is fine, right? T-Mobile probably already understood that before they got into it. They knew that they would start small and grow bigger, right? That's just how it has to happen. Now, of course, the US Cellular deal matters. I mean, you're getting 30% of spectrum, you're getting 2,100 sites, you're getting 4 million customers. So that deal definitely matters. But I think on the priority and importance scale, I think the Metronet is a more important deal for T-Mobile. Now, they went ahead and scrapped the DEI. They're looking to close both. They're not gonna go into it with the mindset that they only get one of the two deals. No, they're gonna go for both. They want both of these deals so they can, one, further grow and scale the network and add more spectrum, which is gonna grow FWA, business relationships, you name it, they're gonna be able to do it. And two, they want to close this fiber deal because they're looking to gain scale, right? So as these deals become more successful for T-Mobile, right, they're going to probably very likely look at buying the entire companies in Lumos and Metronet. Because why not? Right now, you're learning the know-how. Once you have the know-how, you hire the teams. Maybe they keep Metronet and Lumos teams on board. And then you just buy them 100%. And then you have the owner's economics, right? So that's the path for T-Mobile, in my opinion. Right, being a bigger scaled fiber player, 50% ownership doesn't make much sense. I think if you're just doing it here and there, it does make sense. But if you're scaling and you're plowing money into it and you're continuing to help the company scale the asset, you might as well own it 100%, right? So I think that's the next steps for T-Mobile. I don't think that happens right away, but I think with time, that does happen where they buy the entire asset. And then US Cellular, they're buying the entire asset, right? Or whatever the deal calls for, right? 4 million customers, stores, spectrum, tower sites. They're getting all that in the deal. So it's a pretty significant deal for T-Mobile. And as I mentioned, it's critical coverage, right? The name of the game for T-Mobile now is coverage. The top 100 markets are mostly good enough, right? So yes, there's some indoor coverage issues here and there. Verizon has those issues too. And AT&T has those issues too. So for the most part, T-Mobile has that covered, and they're able to scale and grow and compete effectively, right? Talking to CIOs, getting new business partnerships, first responders, T-Mobile's able to do all that today. The name of the game now for T-Mobile is scale. Scale the network, scale, add sites, and that's the next step for T-Mobile, in my opinion, on wireless. T-Satellite is good and all, but it's not gonna be a 1-for-1 with native coverage. So they have to continue to build, and then T-Satellite has its place, but that's going to be really just for off-grid type of situations. Like I said, I traveled from El Paso to Wichita to Oklahoma, expecting at some point on the back highways to connect to T-Satellite, and that did not happen. So just want to point that out for those of you who haven't seen that video. That was like 800 miles, did not lose service once. So that's scale. That's massive scale. Previously, 10 years ago, guaranteed I would have lost service at some point from T-Mobile. And I know there's still no service areas, and I understand that and I get that, but they're a scaled competitor today, especially with 600 megahertz and now the Sprint sites, and then in the future the US Cellular sites, hopefully if they get that approved, 2100 new sites. Like 80% of US Cellular sites are 150 feet or higher. So that's just massive coverage expansion from T-Mobile. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.